What's going on, people? This is Shok. I meant to do this video yesterday, but I got distracted and caught up in homework and other jazz like that. But Nintendo had an investor meeting or slash briefing, I guess you could say, and the new president, whose name I'm probably going to butcher here, Shuntaro Furukawa. I think I got that right. He talked about what kind of their future direction is and their short-term future plans are regarding Nintendo's direction and what they're going to be focusing on and things of that nature. And he said a few interesting things here. Now, this is Nintendo, so I'm not going to get too excited here, but it still is pretty promising to hear some of the things that he said and discussed. Before I get into it, though, by the time this video is up, I will be live over at Twitch. I may be playing some Blackout with some guys in the Discord, but ultimately I'm going to be playing some Zombie U today and trying to finish that playthrough up since it's like Halloween, and that'll wrap up my whole Fright Fest thing I've been doing here. And for shouts to Felix Blue, he gifted me the money on my third Q&A live stream to go ahead and buy Nier Automata, which I haven't touched at all. I've never played that game. I've seen bits and pieces of it, and I've always been interested in it. But it's just kind of one of those games that's just kind of, slipped past me unintentionally type deal. But thanks to him, I got that game now, so I'll probably be starting my playthrough of that. If not tonight, definitely tomorrow, maybe right after the direct or something like that. But anyways, let's get to the topic at hand here. What he specifically said was, we need continuous growth. We must keep releasing new software. That includes DLCs and other contents for big titles that are already out, and more focus on online play. Lastly, more genres in diverse games need to draw in people who don't currently play on Switch. Now, I'm glad to hear that. It's of course it's a whole nother thing if they actually go through with this, if they actually pursue what he said. But this is something I've always been saying about Nintendo. Even since the Wii days when they were doing, when they were doing fairly well. That was still always one of my biggest criticisms of them was their lack of genre coverage and their lack of focus on online. Now DLC, I mean that's cool. DLC is fine as long as it's done right. For the most part, Nintendo has done DLC fairly. I guess you could say. They really haven't done that. Bullshitty DLC that's day one or anything like that. A lot of the DLC that they have put out have come months and months after the game has released, which is how DLC should come. If you have your DLC ready to go day one or even within like the first few weeks or something, you can go ahead and put that in the game, especially if you're going to make people pay a certain amount of money for it. But the DLC thing, that's cool. I just hope they don't get out of hand or out of line with that. It's Nintendo, so I wouldn't expect them to. But then at the same time, I also didn't expect Nintendo to charge for online multiplayer. So, there's also that. But the online play and the diversity in genres, are the two main things here that are super promising because those have always been the two things Nintendo has been weak in, right? Is the amount of genres they have and of course the amount of online multiplayer games that they have. Most of Nintendo's games just fall under platformers or some type of RPG or adventure game, type deal. You know what I mean? The Mario, the Zelda, even Metroid, you could technically classify as an adventure game. It's not like a standard, first-person shooter or anything like that. Then of course you got the Fire Emblem, Pokemon, which are the RPGs, Xenoblade RPG, so on and so forth. So really, Nintendo has only really been focusing on genres that are very popular and sell really well in Japan. Not saying that those games don't sell well around the world, of course they do, but we all know the deal, right? It's 2018, like, shooters are it, right? That's what everyone loves the most are, shooters and third-person open world games, third-person shooters, things of that nature. And the shooter genre is always something Nintendo has been slacking on. And that's not the only one. I'm saying as far as like, the bigger, more relevant ones, that's always kind of been their Achilles heel. If you like FPSs, there's just really nothing on a Nintendo platform for you, period. Especially not from Nintendo themselves. Of course, on some of the platforms we've gotten some shooting games, but they've been from third parties, and they just haven't been the AAA quality shooters that we know that Nintendo can make. We've got like the Conduit on Wii and a couple of things of that nature, but that's like you guys know what I'm saying. It's not from Nintendo. It's not up to par. It's not as quality as some of the first person or third-person shooters we see on the rival consoles. Although according to Reggie, they're not in competition with other video game machine manufacturers. That makes sense. Um, but yeah, I would love to see Nintendo branch out, maybe drop a few horror games, maybe make a couple rated M games directly from them. Don't have a third party do it, but have Nintendo make a couple rated M games. I would like to see Nintendo kind of tap into their darker mind, their darker side a bit, because the few times they have done this in the past, they've given some really good or really interesting games. Go back to the Eternal Darkness and Geist type projects. Things of that nature. Even things like Metroid Fusion, just awesome ass game. Majora's Mask, just the darkness is just awesome. So the few times we've seen Nintendo kind of go dark in the past, they've given really good ideas of some really good games. So hopefully that's something they realize and they tap into. And in addition to just having more shooters and things of that nature, he said more focus on online. The shooting genre is of course perfect for online. I mean, there's Splatoon, but it's literally just Splatoon, and it's not the traditional shooter a lot of people might be looking for. Splatoon is kind of its own unique twist on a shooter rather than a traditional shooter type deal. Um, but that and more focus on online play, that's huge because we just had Mario Party come out. I haven't played it myself, but I've actually heard that people are really enjoying this Mario Party. But guess what? I would have that Mario Party right now if that crap had online. But it doesn't, so I don't have it because I really wouldn't have people to play with. I mean, there's Dom, I have a roommate, but I'm not about to just do 1v1s on Mario Party. That's not the full extent or the full experience of Mario Party. You know what I mean? Um, so hopefully they also realize they've been missing out on huge online multiplayer opportunities with some of these games. New Super Mario Bros. U back on the Wii U. That's one of the main games I criticized for not having online because it just felt like a no brainer. It just felt like a no brainer. Like why the hell not? You make a multiplayer 2D Mario game and you don't give it online. I mean, even the DS game, the original, right, had at least 2-player online. At least I think it did. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that had online. If not, I think it was local. Correct me if I'm wrong. But regardless, I feel like that would be like the perfect type of game to have online. They're porting it over to the Switch. This would be the perfect time to throw some online on there, right? Let us have online co-op for the Donkey Kong Country games. If you make any new ones, Tropical Freeze would have been really great with some online co-op. Let me think of some other games here. So a lot of games last generation, as well as some missed opportunities on the Wii that I just feel like would have benefited greatly from having some online. So it's great that he's saying that. Whether or not they will put that to practice, we will see. But I mean, he is the freaking president, so it's not some random or some lower end employee or anything like that. It's not Reggie saying it because we all know Reggie doesn't truly have any power like that. This is the current president of Nintendo saying this, so chances are we actually might get some of this. Some of this might come to fruition. We'll see, but I definitely think this will iron out two of Nintendo's major problems right now. One being the lack of genres and the lack of online multiplayer games, and also of course features. Now of course what he said has nothing to do with console features and things of that nature. But I'm listing that as like the second biggest problem, right? The two biggest problems are lack of genre coverage / online multiplayer. You can't really go to a Nintendo system for a good online experience. And then just features on the goddamn system. We need a web browser on that thing. We need the voice chat on the system. We need a party chat system. Way older systems over a decade old now, had a party chat system on the system itself. And the Switch is a 2017 machine that does not. That's crazy. It needs to go ahead and get Netflix, all the things. It needs a Twitch app. You should be able to link your Switch to Twitch, and that way you can go to your friends list and see if any of your friends are streaming on Twitch. Click the Twitch icon. It opens up the Twitch icon on your Switch, and you get to watch what your friend is playing. Perfect, right? And a messaging system. The fact that you have a device where you can add people but not message them, like that's crazy to me. That's insane. But that's all I have to say about this video, guys. Like I said, I'm not getting my hopes up because guys, I've been on YouTube for 10 years now. I've been through this before, time and time again. I know Nintendo, and I know them pretty damn well. So them saying this doesn't mean that we're guaranteed to see a change, but it is a little comforting to see him specifically mention these things and also, um, state and realize that that is a weakness of them. Because yes, he didn't use the word weakness or anything like that, but the fact that he said we need continuous growth, he's realized that they have not branched out or increased their overall fan base or install base, and this is something I've always been saying. So he's realizing, so by saying they need continuous growth, so we need to online more genres, that is inadvertently saying that currently those departments are a weakness for them. So that's it this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave me your thoughts down below, and like I said, I will be live over at twitch.tv/Shokio, and of course I also will be live streaming the Smash Direct tomorrow 9 a.m. Central Time. So come check it out with me, guys. Genuine reactions, genuine show. You guys know how I do it. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later.